Her on-screen presence in 2004 with a series of high-profile supporting roles, many of them influenced by her adopted son Maddox. It was for him that she jumped at the chance to vamp as a seductive fish in the animated Shark Tale.
You got a name? You want to tell me what it is?
Well, my son loved Shrek, but so did I. But I also thought that Shrek and Shark Tale had a message, which was really nice, and it was a film that I would like my son to see, and about honesty, and so they're fun and they're great music and great characters, but they also have a really nice moral, which makes for a perfect film.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow relies on computer animation just as much as Shark Tale. But in this case, Angelina and her co-stars, Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow, appear on screen.
Angelina's fantastic, and she plays this really strong, tough Air Force commander, and she's totally gorgeous and intimidating, and it's great because it really, we wanted to make her and Polly Perkins complete opposite.
Joseph Sullivan. I was sure you'd be dead by now.
Because all of the backgrounds were computer generated, the actors had to perform everything in front of a blue screen.
I mean, because of how bizarre the situation is, I think I've talked to this director more than I've talked to any other director.
That director is Kerry Conran, and Sky Captain is his first film.
He's a great guy, and maybe it's because it's his first time. He's just humble, and he's honest and decent and straightforward, and all those things that you wish every director was. But he was great, and it made you want to work harder for him. We all came to set, and we all wanted to. He had this vision in his head, and we wanted to help him to make it work.
The way they approach this, which is unique, is they treated it more like theater instead of film, and it's a distinction that's kind of fairly significant in the regard that theater, you do have to bring so much of that environment and world with you, whereas film, you typically have the set and the environment to kind of play off of.
Meanwhile, Angelina continues her support of the United Nations, coming to their defense at the premiere of Hotel Rwanda.
They are not peacemakers, and they weren't in Rwanda, and they aren't now. They're peacekeepers, and they're humanitarian, but they don't have guns and UN cars, and that's not what they do, but they do need security first so they can work. They haven't been given security. They're still in there. I've seen them. And they're in danger. But, so is it their job to secure an area? No.
This passion for world cultures would be one reason Angelina pursued the role of Alexander the Great's mother in Oliver Stone's Alexander.
He's drunk so much wine, my poor Philip. He's lost his mind. It's just an epic film, and I'm an artist, and I like history, and I'm curious about history and people and cultures and land and being a mother, and there are other themes, I think.
Colin Farrell, who plays Alexander, is only a few years younger than Angelina, but that didn't stop her from pursuing a chance to work with director Oliver Stone.
When I heard about the possibility of Olympias, I thought it was crazy and wrong, and I was simply too young and wouldn't be able to get the role or do it in any way, but I was excited to just have him. I wanted to meet with him again, and I just wanted to see him, so we met and talked about it, and came around to he had faith in me, which not a lot of people have in that way, and he made me feel confident that I could do it.
What I like about Angelina, unlike, you see, let's say she, like a lot of modern actresses, they play the middle more. With her, you have more the Bette Davis tradition. She goes for it in a strong way, in a determined way, and it's very rare to see that with young actresses. They don't have that confidence.
I did 2 scenes with her. I only had 2 scenes with her, and they were much more intense than the scenes I had with Val. And it was only the 2 of us together in my mother's chambers, and they're fairly heavy scenes with the younger Alexander, 18 and 19, and it's just great to play with people. I started off in television, so I got used to hitting my marks every time, saying things the same way, and you move on. But then you find actors like Angelina who mixes it up every time, changes every time, evolves every time. It's not conscious, it just happens, it just begins to breathe, the scene.
I think the pressure to be forced to be honest.
Off-screen, Angelina has learned to be careful of what she says and has become wary of reporters.
I want to ask you a favor. We're doing for Israel charity for children. I got the text out.
Oh, I don't.
No, for children. For ideas.
Yeah, we're gonna pass. I would, but I'd rather you send it to me personally because
Just say for us.
I know, I would support every charity in the world. I just need to know what I'm doing.
The situation became more intense in 2005 when Jolie teamed up with Brad Pitt for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I want a divorce.
Or a divorce. I like it.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith are a married couple who are also secretly high-paid assassins. They are hired to take each other down.
You know, for an action movie, it's a real film. It doesn't rely on action. It's not just to shoot 'em up for no reason. It actually has a very strong story and characters and plot, and it's a solid film. I thought you didn't dance.
That was just my cover.
They each thought the other was funny and sort of odd, and they're very different people. Brad and Angie are, in all fairness, the reason this movie works entirely. Their chemistry is spectacular.
This chemistry may have been what led gossips to speculate that Jolie was involved when Pitt split with his wife, Friend star Jennifer Aniston. Angelina repeatedly denied the rumors. Meanwhile, she kept busy performing some impressive stunt work.
We're going to do it with a double, and she's wants to do it because she knows she wants to do it herself because she knows it'll look more real, and she just does it. She's done it before on her other movies, and she wanted to just get in there and do it, and it's great for us, and it makes it better for the film.
When it came time to promote Mr. and Mrs. Smith, both Brad and Angelina did very little press, and the reporters Jolie did talk to were required to sign an agreement saying they would not ask personal questions. Rumors about Brad Pitt aside, the real man in Angelina's life is always waiting to greet her at the end of the day, her son Maddox.
After tonight, I'm going to come home, and he's going to be in his little pajamas and come running at me and hug me, and then I'm going to feel special.
Thanks for watching this Angelina Jolie edition of Famous. Join us next time for another inside look at your favorite movie stars.